What's going on? Just trying to get things going. Hey, y'all, what's going on? About to go ahead and get started. I hope y'all had a chance to. I hope y'all had a chance to listen to my reel earlier today. So we're gonna get into that in just a second. Thanks for everybody joining the live. Anyone is welcome to come up at any given time. Don't be a stranger. Don't be a stranger tonight. All right, we just gonna get started with the one person we have in the room. Thank you off the cuss. Why don't you come on up, sis? I don't know if you can always you can always turn your camera off if you feel like coming up. So because we all the way live on a Tuesday. So if y'all don't know, welcome to the Over 40 podcast. I'm your girl, Holly D, aka Miss Holly Baby, aka your fine ass auntie, aka your new best friend, aka thick in the thighs and not in the waist. And welcome to the Over 40 podcast. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. If you are just now joining us, I am streaming from both Restream in terms of YouTube, Facebook, as well as IG. So make sure you come in, you join in, sit back, relax. I got my baby homegirl here, Chloe, who's my puppy. So she did not want to be left at home. So I decided to bring her in the studio. So we have a good conversation tonight. So by all means, whoever that one person is on Restream, I really appreciate you tuning in. I don't know who it is. I had to stream from my phone, y'all, because let me tell you about my MacBook Air. Um, it does not like me anymore for some reason. For some reason, the microphone is off. I actually did forget my webcam, so that may have a lot to do with it. But anyways, the show must go on. And yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. Again, just want to say hey to the people that are in the IG live, as well as the people that are streaming me from YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. So let me tell you what I am grateful for. I'm gonna call this appreciate your boo. So appreciate your boo is really me really talking about all the things that I am grateful for. And the one thing I'm definitely grateful for are my guys over at 1500 Radio. Oh, wow. My guys over at 1500 Radio in Baltimore. Hold on. Am I getting feedback? I had this word here. You good? Oh, there you go. You went. Wait. A girl is trying. That's okay. Why you doing that? Let me see. All right. That's okay. Why you doing that? I'm gonna just give appreciate you, boo. Can you hear me? Okay. I cannot hear you. You can't hear me? I can hear you now. Okay, good. I'm like, let me see. Is that better? Okay. It's perfect. How you doing, boo? My lips are dry, like for real. That's okay. You all good, but I appreciate you coming up on. Huh? Okay. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna put my phone on a microphone so you can be heard on the recorded version. So hold on. I got all of the things going on in the studio today. So don't mind me. We gonna get this figured out. So did you get your order? Did you get your order? Okay. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, I came, I think, today, and I haven't been home. So
okay, because it did show delivered, sis.
So it worked.
Okay. All right. So again, thanks for joining me. I think we have a really good discussion. We're going to just get started, whoever's in here, even if it's just me and you talking tonight. So again, it's all the way live on a Tuesday. So thank you so much for tuning in. Again, I just want to say, I appreciate you, boo. That's just the time where I am definitely just being grateful and appreciative for the people, places, and things that has gone and supported me. And the first appreciate you, boo, that I'm giving out tonight is Chief Potty Rocker and Mr. Got That Glow over at 1500 Radio in Baltimore. Every morning from 6 to 9, they are 6 to 10. They're actually shouting me out. So there are people that have started tuning in from all the way up in Baltimore. So if you're not listening to them, make sure you download the 1500 Radio app. It's free. It's free. It's free 99. So make sure you tune in. Okay. So huh?
I said, shout out to Baltimore.
Shout out to Baltimore. You know, stupid. I love them. So my friend Chi, Mr. Got That Glow. He is always, always supporting me, as well as Envy over at the Levels Podcast. I hope he is enjoying Carnival. I think he went to Antigua, but anyways, he went to one of those. He went to one of those. He went to one of the islands. I don't know which one he actually went to, but I know he is having a blast with Carnival.
It's a place where I'm not, so I'm jealous automatically.
I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying I would like to be there too, but hey, I got to stay here. And so I'll take sunny South Florida over anything. So I ain't even worried about it. What's up, August? Long time no see, sis. It's been a minute. So anyway, so yeah, I just want to, definitely say I appreciate y'all. So what's going on? Basically, if you had a chance to look at my reel earlier today, the title of today's show is really talking about some of the relationship beliefs that, we had believed in at one point in time, but now we don't believe in now. So the choices that you had was love conquers all. It's all about us, and everyone is loyal. So, off the cuff, what are your thoughts?
I answered it without actually listening to it or reading it through. It just popped up, and I was like, "Ooh, let me participate."
Okay.
So the choices were everyone is loyal, love conquers all.
Mm-hmm.
And what were the other two?
It's all about us, and then other. Like other things that you've heard about.
Do I no longer believe in? I'm going to say I no longer believe in everyone is loyal.
Okay. All right. And why do you think, and what makes you think that everyone is not loyal? I'm just curious. I feel a story is coming on. I feel a story coming on.
This friend, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have this friend who has been in an ongoing it's a situationship.
Okay.
She was in an ongoing situationship with someone who was married.
Okay.
So, from what I understand about that situationship, the person recently posted a shout out to their spouse.
Okay.
Online saying, hey, 14 years or 15 years of marriage, whatever she told me it was.
Mm-hmm.
She, sent me a screenshot of the post, and I was like, well, wait, haven't y'all been messing around for 14 or 15 years?
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, she's been in relationships and she didn't cheat on the person she was with when she was, when she was in a relationship. But when that relationship ended, she would end up drifting back to that person. And it just had me thinking that this, the person that she's cheating with, he's cheating or whatever the case is.
Right.
For as long as he has been married, she has been around.
Wow.
It was basically like the person went and got married, came back from the honeymoon, and within like a month or 2 months of him being married, they were getting to know each other. So that just had me think that maybe not everyone is loyal. I don't think it is a male or female thing.
Okay.
I think it can be disloyal. It's not always in romantic relationships. I think friends and or family members can be disloyal.
Okay.
I think there is a lack of loyalty just across the board.
Okay.
But do I believe love conquers all? Yes.
So
I believe love is the answer.
So it's funny that you said that, right? But I'm gonna get back to the love conquers all, because August, in the comments, she also said that. And August, you're more than welcome to come up. This is just a free for all. So, hey, again, it's definitely just an open discussion. But I'm curious to know, when it comes, you made a very valid point when you said it's not just romantic relationships. It could also be friendships and family. And I'm wondering, like, where do you see like the lack of loyalty when it comes to like friendships? What does that look like in terms of not being loyal?
Lack of loyalty in a friendship. Just enough I've had to cut things off. Because it was a serious violation.
Okay.
Like in the past, I had to cut a friend off because basically she set me up to get jumped by my ex.
What?
Yeah.
Are you serious, yo?
I can try to do a story time in less than 40 seconds.
Oh my gosh.
We met in college after she left college and I was done with college. I started dating this guy. She started dating his friend. The guy that I was with, I don't know if there was some jealousy. He was kind of well off. We were low-key jet setting, living that best life. She chose the friend who was broke. Oh. I don't know what happened. I found out that the guy I was seeing had stepped out on me.
Oh, wow.
I wasn't arguing, so I ended the relationship. Wow. Not going to make this a long story. I went to a company Christmas party for an airline in Philly. Some stuff jumped off after that. There was people getting down.
Oh my goodness.
I wasn't interested. I had literally broken up with my boyfriend that night. So I wasn't trying to jump into a group thing. And it was a whole bunch of stuff, limos, there was sex, there were guns. It was a lot going on.
Yo, that sounds like so much. Either way.
That's a whole story for a different night.
Yo, even Chloe looking like, God damn.
It's Philly,
Yes.
So after that entire incident, we were talking, and I don't know, I guess maybe I shamed her, made her feel some type of way about how she was acting. I was upset because what was going on involved guns and me and not participating in the party.
Right.
So I was pissed at her. The next thing I know, I don't know what she said to her boyfriend. I don't know what her boyfriend said to my ex-man.
Right.
But I went to his house to get the rest of my stuff. He wasn't there. So I'm walking back to my car, and my ex rolled up on me. And he attacks me in the parking lot. He starts quoting about, oh, you were involved in whatever, and I didn't know.
Right.
We ended up having to go to court, and right before we went to court, he called me and he told me that she was the one who said that I was involved in things that I wasn't.
Wow. That's more than not being loyal. That's like betrayal. Like that was literally like a setup. Like that's not cool. Huh?
It was set up. I don't know if she knew that he was ever going to tell me, because we were going to court for like an assault. He damaged my car, everything like that. She probably thought, oh, they're never going to talk again.
Wow.
He realized that he had been played and he was set up, and he called me and told me. So, yeah, I had to cut her off.
Yeah, that definitely constituted that is a guaranteed cutoff. I know for me,
huh? I was nice about it.
Right. I think I think that is definitely the ultimate like betrayal. I mean, like it don't get no grimier than that, other than like, catching your friend and your man in bed together. That's definitely being disloyal.
That has never happened, and I keep my circle small. I keep my circle tight, and trust the people in my circle.
Right.
So a lot of times I'll see people like girls' weekend. They'll have like a bridal party, girls' weekend, and it's like 20, 30 girls, and I'm just like, somebody in there might be jealous of somebody else.
That's a lot of people. Like I agree with you. I mean, I'm sure. I personally haven't known anything over like, I don't know, 5. It just becomes too much.
If I get married again, I'm a little bang. Like, I'm not.
Yeah, it becomes a little bit too much, and I'm just like, nah. So,
yeah. But people can just be disloyal, and it is a trait that it's a trait that is learned. I think if they didn't grow up in a family that showed loyalty,
right,
weren't surrounded by people who showed loyalty, they themselves don't know how to show it.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely. I mean, I think I've definitely hold on one second, y'all. Hold on. I think I did the wrong thing by bringing the dog into the studio, but she was looking so pitiful before I left the house, and I was just like, oh, I'm gonna just take it. No, I knew there was a reason. I was like, that's why I come to a studio, because I don't have that issue. But anyways, but yeah, I think I'm curious to know what's actually worse. Is it the betrayal from in a relationship, a friendship, or a family? I'm curious. What are y'all thoughts?
My worst betrayals have always been from my friendships, because I feel like I give more intimate details with friends, right? You kind of love my friends so much.
Right.
Friendships are the worst breakups for me, or for me.
I have to agree with you on that one. It just feels like, because I don't know about y'all, but for me, friends typically feel like you get to choose, right? So when you see, like, like no one's, they're not showing none of that stuff, it's just like it's like a dagger to the heart, So I think that one, that's definitely the ultimate for me. So
when friendships have ended, I never got a chance to like give my side of the story sometimes. So like, write it out, you duke it out, y'all kind of come to like a mutual agreement that this won't work out. But with friendships, sometimes it just cut you off completely, and it's just kind of like you got to leave it with unfinished business. And it's like, but I have something to say. They don't care about unfinished business. They just like whatever.
Right. I don't know. I don't know. I think if I've had a conversation with you and it's fallen on, personally don't feel like I need to give you a departure letter because I'm out, But that attempted to have a conversation with you more than once, right? Like for a situation where like boundaries were being crossed, and like discussion about that caused conflict. This was a friend a while ago, like, hey, for me, or hey, I think, like, I don't know what was going on, but that was the main, trying to have that conversation. It fell on deaf ears. So when it happened again, I'm out. It was a lot of, I know for me, it was a lot of, there were a lot of things that didn't align with me as far as a person, visual. And it's like, well, how many, if it doesn't align with you, and sometimes we got to have a conversation. See what I'm saying? Like, if I got to talk about it more than twice, then it's time for me to be out. I don't know how anybody else feels.
Miscommunication or disconnect.
Right.
We're not vibing in the way that we thought we were. So let's just move on.
I'm showing here in the comments, Mood Swing says it's subjective depending on what you value. For most people, I think it's friendship. So we talked about some of the myths, like, everybody's loyal. What about that one? For me, was one of the biggest myths, the biggest relationship. Oh no, love does not conquer all, because you have so many different levels, one of them being loyalty. But like my biggest thing was, if a love conquering all, that's love ain't enough, right? My question is, does that person make you feel safe? That's a huge thing. Safe physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And it's not saying that a person has to be perfect, right? You in their presence. What do you think about that, August?
I feel like love does not like having a friendship, and being in love conquers all, because you're not in love with your partner. Mm-hmm. Sometimes your friendship and knowing that you actually like the person will save things, right? And whatever. But they just something simple that's really silly to you, and you think that's adorable. Whatever you can get. Maybe you feel like you can get back to that love state because you have a friendship with the person,
right?
But you coming home every day, you're not even gonna try to work on rebuilding love with them, right? You have the vision of a friendship first, and then you can love. Then love will conquer all. But if you don't have that friendship, love don't mean nothing.
No,
love don't mean nothing. Love might get you through some sexual experiences, and that's it. That's all they can really do, because you can make love, but that's all you can really do.
I honestly don't think there's situations where you be like, well, why am I with this person? Because even sex doesn't in a situation like that. I don't care what you could have did. I didn't feel overall, I did not feel safe because I didn't feel as though I was safe in his environment, that you could get up and leave at any time. I remember like like I said before, these and like people don't pay their gas bill and they won't, but as soon as it's a 60-degree day, it's getting cut off. And so like he had, well, before I moved in, hadn't paid the bill, so they cut off the gas, which he did he went down to the shore, left me there in the house. I'm like, damn, I'm supposed to be, we living together. Oh, thug this out together. We ain't gonna be boiling water on the stove together.
Out together, what you mean?
We ain't gonna thug this out together until people come back, until the gas people come turn the gas back on. He's like, nah, bitch, I'm out. I did not conquer that. It was just like, it was all for oneself, and it was just from that point on with love. And like that was a really huge learning because I came from, but I love him though. Oh, but I love him though. Oh, but you know, I don't feel.
Stay down.
Say what?
He had no loyalty. He wasn't loyal to the situation.
Zero. No loyalty. No, love was not gonna get the love that. It definitely wasn't all about us. So again, like I said before, it's just crazy. Those are old school beliefs. What are some new in 2022 that people are saying is a belief?
My big thing that I just discovered, it doesn't not matter how good it doesn't matter what you do for them. If they are not ready to be a partner to you, or they don't appreciate you, no matter what you do for them,
right?
They will never. It'll never be okay. Like when I tell you, I ain't gonna say I worship the ground this man walked on, but I mean I tried so hard on all fronts, but good enough for him. And I realized it's not really a me thing; it's a him thing. Mm-hmm. But it really took him dragging me to realize, like, it's not me, it's him. Right. And then I started thinking back, like, I've had multiple situations on so many levels and so many fronts to do the right thing in our relationship, but see that, and I might not be the right person for them, that's fine. But whatever it is, if they're not ready to receive, no matter how good of a woman you are, just don't. So you have to find someone who is ready to receive what you have to give.
It's true, because I mean, I know some people, they get tired of this term, like, that wants to be kept, and I mean, like, real talk, that's true. Like, I don't care how much you clean, I don't care how much you give that good thing up, keep that person in place unless, like you said, they are ready to receive. They're ready to receive when it comes to love. In the room, I see she got a camera.
I'm still here. I'm driving home.
So okay.
I'm still here. It's funny because I was giving an associate today, and at the end of the day, I was giving her advice on where she a friendship that was falling apart. You know, a male friend who was choosing mate, and his new girlfriend over his friend. You want to fight for
him, you want to fight for this friendship. Is
right.
Okay. She was just like, I don't really think he is. And I said, let him go.
Oh yeah, I'm good.
It's like,
oh no, go ahead, boo.
It's like you had the girlfriend and you had the wife and the guys in the middle, and they're looking at him saying, which one of us? And I'm like, why are you letting him choose about what your future is? Do you want this to continue? And does he want this to continue? If he's for somebody who's not fighting for you, let it go, sis.
I wonder.
That's something growth, though. Understanding that you're worth more than settling for whatever the person is valuing you at. Self-love and stuff like.
I wonder in those, is it more so that people don't want to be by themselves?
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
I think probably.
Yeah.
You know, I have very little patience at this point in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's things feel like they're just not, like, it's just not lining up. I'm just like blah. Right. I mean, I'm just not best to be in a relationship again. I'm just trying to spend time with me, friends, and my family, and make sure that those relationships are solid. That's more to me than jumping on a dating app or something like that.
Right. Just gonna slightly reset the conversation. If you're just now joining us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or even here on Instagram Live, different relationship beliefs, things we might have believed earlier on, but as we continue to get older, what do you not believe anymore? Love conquers all. Everybody's loyal, and it's all about us. I wanted to kind of give those who just came back into the room some ideas on what we talking about. What about it's all about us?
Believing that so heavy. Oh my God, I used to believe in that so heavy. I'm actually heartbroken. All about us. Like, that's the one. I ain't gonna get emotional. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it today. But that is the most realizing that, like, dang, people can't interfere with our relationship. You can listen to other outside influences. It's not really all about us. Like, and I guess that kind of ties in with the love conquers all things, all about us. And if we work hard enough, we can get over these humps. But it's not all about us. And there's the COVID that influenced a lot of the turmoil that happened, and it was just from just outside influence. So it's not all us, unless you mean something different.
No. I mean, just like that, in terms of how the relationship ranks as a power.
Right.
Yeah. So, like, I know for me, I was just like, oh, well, it's all about us, so they're top priority, and I'm just like, but what about my point in terms of like who I am as an individual? Because if I'm putting it on what you know what I'm saying, how is that impacting me all over? So that was, I definitely don't believe that one right there. It's got to.
Yeah, like you have a whole garden and you just pouring water into this whole garden, which is you. It's not being maintained or watered, or the pot hasn't been, like, what about my little flower over there? Because you focusing so much on the main garden that you forget about yourself, and then eat away at you, and then you become resentful, and you become angry, and you don't understand why you're so frustrated in this dynamic. But you realize that you're trying to grow and become better, but this person is stuck in this garden that has weeds in it. Help you maintain the garden. It's just like I gotta abandon this garden because it's not up to me. I have to take care of me, or I'm gonna end up with a dead flower or a dead plant. So,
and like I said before, I think when people start talking about it's all about us, they forget in the us. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's like, oh well, am I? You know, is doing this for myself? You know, and then it becomes everything. And the question is, but what is that person?
And does that all about us? Does that allow any room for personal growth? Because you always hear one of the biggest complaints I hear is that you know, they're not the same, and I'm like, well, they're not supposed to be the same. Like,
yeah,
so
and I can.
Is it all about us? Does that allow room for growth and for the person to change, or are you holding on to the person that you, and then you can't grow with that person?
And I think a lot of people do that. It used to be like this, and it used to be like that, and I'm like, I don't think nobody is the same, let alone a year, 5 years ago. I don't think you're the same person 6 months. So definitely, I think with that, I don't feel like it gives a couple growth, or if you're growing. The question is, are you growing together as well as growing on your own?
And I realized, like, when you fall in love with someone's potential, and like you might see some great in them, expect them to like catch up to the potential that you see in them, and they never ever meet your expectations, and you like, why? I see all this potential in you, but they don't really want to do the work. And so you're like, but I know you can do this. They don't see it, you see it. And so you start getting mad, but it's like you can only be mad at yourself, because who told you to follow? They either show up for you, actions speak louder than words. So don't fall in love with people. In love with what's right in front of you, because you're gonna end up breaking your own heart when they don't meet.
And I personally think, and I get, you know, I have a couple friends of mine, they on this one in terms of the potential, and I'm just like, I don't believe in falling. I'm gonna fall in love with you. You are right now. In terms of potential, I'm looking at you right now, and I'm not. And that's the thing. If you're in that place where then we can move with that. But in terms of like, oh well, I'm gonna wait. No, place, and you're building a business, and that's, you know, I'm like, hey, I'm, you know, and I'm on board with that. But if you're telling me, oh, just wait, no, I'm worried about you, right? Am I falling in love with you at this moment, not what you can do? Now, of course, we all know that's right on your side. Of course, you can do, you know, at Fabulous, where he was like, I'm a movement by myself, but we're a force. When I truly do believe that, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to fall in love with the future you. I want to be in love and really now. And I think that's where there's a disconnect with some people.
I know I am so guilty of falling in love with people's potentials, because like they might have but that 20% is a mother. I'm telling you, it's a mother. So I have to like remember what I see in the person. They need to meet me, like you said. They need to meet me I need to meet them where they are right now. They happen to not change the way I hope that they would. I can't be upset that it didn't change, because I'm like, who? I can't. It was right there in front of me. Who? I can only do better myself. So
right. And I mean,
when you're speaking potential, are you speaking specifically about who can potentially be as far as their character or future husband or future father, of what that person could be? And I'm just going to say a man. as a future because, like, is it or is it all of it? Because if you're just speaking of what this person, I think is almost in a way self-serving.
Right.
What this person can change me, and it's almost in a way it's a little bit controlling.
It is. That's why I don't.
In a way where, like my ex, he grew up on survival. Right. I guess it is kind of self-serving, but he has so many. Like, you have this internalized trauma that if you just talk to someone about me a little bit better, so that you would understand where the love that I'm trying to give you is coming from. So yes, it was in benefits for himself, because when we broke up, he would still need that therapy for himself. He was so yeah.
Well, I mean, any type of growth, that person has to, they're going to accept growth, that they're going to take those steps, and they have to do it for them. Yeah. Because if he were to do that because you suggested it and you wanted him to do it, what would happen? It crumbled and you walk away.
Yeah.
He never did it for himself, so it's not going to stick. It's someone who has some type of substance addiction, and everyone else wants that. If they don't do it for themselves, it's never going to work.
Right.
I absolutely agree. And I realize that. I'm still working on realizing that it doesn't matter what for the person, no matter how good I think that they could be for them. That's why I said I agree with you about the self-serving part. They have to want it for themselves, or it's not going to
be. Like we said, they have to want it for themselves. And then that turns around to be that for yourself. That's where I'm going to meet you. But at the same time, it's like, okay, do we want down for that? I mean, that's all very, you have, it can go either way. Like you said before, if someone is, for example, trying to deal with addiction, are those, or are they just getting to keep you around?
That is one thing. It could be addiction. It could be just healing from past trauma. Mm-hmm. It could be wants the other partner to become more spiritual or more religious, and you want to get them into it. If they're not doing it for themselves, then it's not authentic.
Yeah. And I know, funny that you mentioned the spiritual part. Just like solely, and the guy that I was seeing at the time, you know, I was a non-denominational Christian and he was Catholic, right? But he was a non-practice. So he didn't even, his concept of church and all that stuff, he didn't even want to deal with it. So I'm like, come on, come with me. And I wish I would never did that, because when I took him to sleep and he was snoring to the point where people were literally looking. The problem with that is that he didn't want to go in the first place, right? And at that time, yeah, like like he literally, I can see fell asleep. All right, no problem. But then, like, I guess he got comfortable, like he adjusted. And when I tell you, he was like sawing wood. He was sawing wood. So it's just like, okay, well, that's a prime example.
This truck is telling these people you better move.
Okay, I don't mess out here.
Like, you up in Philly, play no games.
Right, they don't play no games in Philly, and they definitely.
I'm in Richmond.
Yeah. No, down here they will run you over. They will peripheral, and and they don't care. They like, you better move.
I need to move to get out of my way. I swear.
I know. I know, but they may not hear it down here because a whole melting pot of languages. So like, I don't know. You got to get like a tribe, get out of the way.
No, I was renting a Suburban, right? This Suburban was beautiful. Too Suburban. Sitting up high, I'm 5 foot tall, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I get out the gas station, this person falls, and I hop out the car, and they was like, I jumped out the car, I was like on the ground. It was like, topic. I felt so bad because they was like, looking at me like, damn, this bitty person over here just cursed. Sorry, it's the truck. And they just fell out laughing and walked off. But I was like, it's the truck. It's not me.
That's crazy. No, like.
The truck made me mean, y'all.
Huh?
The truck made me mean, and I want that.
It's crazy because it really depends. Because when I drive a pickup, and I don't have a pickup, but like just when I have my dad's truck, I just feel like like that masculine energy just comes. Get out the way. Right. I know exactly how you feel. So, but because please be safe out there.
It was fine. You know, I stay in the left lane. So,
Okay.
Listen, when you said truck and I'm sitting here shaking my head and I'm just like, yeah, I drive too reckless for a truck. I need to be low.
Oh.
You know, Arsenal, you know, I have enough tickets that I got out of. So,
I
my secret.
What? Your secret of what? Getting
rage of getting out of tickets 5 times.
How did you get out of 5 tickets? I need to know.
So, I'm gonna lie. I try not to be reckless. I'm not on the phone, but I'm known to do 90. So on more than a few occasions, I saw the cop, state trooper on the side of the road, and I was like, I know, I saw you. You turn on your light. You know, I see them, their vehicle, their patrol car or truck in the gear. I'm like, they got me. That's it. Before they even get on the highway, I have pulled over. They'll be, oh, well, thanks for not making me chase you. And I'm like, hi, officer, whatever the case is. Went down. I was like, I'm sorry, I was running late. It's been a couple. One time I was late for court. And but it worked. So you go yeah. I mean, I was on the New Jersey Turnpike East, and I was driving her to JFK, and I was doing like 95, 190, and I saw the state trooper. I immediately pulled over. He didn't even realize he passed me about probably 1,000 or so feet, and I was like, oh. As soon as I passed him, he put his lights back on. I was like, oh, yeah, he got me.
Yeah.
My niece. And he was like, oh, well, where are you going? And I said, it's my niece. It's our first international train. He was like, listen, just slow it down. And I was like, you know what? You're right. I said, we're going to get there in plenty of time. He was like, all right. And he let me go. Don't make her hurt.
That's
you want to be responsible for me having stomach hurt? I swear to God. And you can say it's women problems or your stomach hurts, and they were all. I'm telling you, well, let me not lie. I know it's a little another maybe factors other than that, but had Taco Bell for lunch, sir. I'm not gonna make it to my house. Can you escort me at least to a bathroom? Like go ahead. I'm like, thank you, because this is gonna be good for you. I'm telling you, you got to get this work. And they like, go ahead, please. I'm saying my stomach hurts for whatever reason.
That's crazy, but it's funny that y'all brought police. Another thing when I'm thinking about relationship beliefs offshoot to that is deal breakers, right? Have deal breakers for a period of time. Let's just say 5 years ago or 10 years ago, things that, you know, passed or barely passed. What are we looking at, right now? So I'll give you a prime example since y'all brought up the law. But how would you feel if you were dating someone and, background check, like for some reason, oops, I forgot, because I've done that myself. So I would say maybe 3 months in, and that person tells you, hey, 6 months before I met you, I was getting out of it. And no lie, this actually happened to me. So and this was even longer, and this was like back in my 20s or so. Then I moved like super fast. So like after 3 months, we were living with each other. But he kind of, I just started seeing this person come to the house on a regular basis, once or twice a week. They'll pull up, someone open the door, and then he'll peep out, have a great day. And I'm just like, well, who the hell is this? And then he was like, huh?
They kind of snuck in there on you?
No, it was just a person that would just look. They would get out of the car. They were like, hey, it's so-and-so here. I'm like, yeah. So they would pop out, and they was like, okay. I didn't know that was that man, parole officer. Probation, parole. I did not know that. So I was slow. Back in the day when I was 20 something, because I just wanted somebody to love me, y'all. I will say I've grown significantly, but at the end of the day, I just wanted somebody to love me. So like yo, I was sheltered. I was like, why does this person? It seemed like it was. I was like, why does this person keep coming to the house? Who is this? And then that's when he decided that, well, I've served some time. How much time? Oh, like 7 years. Messing with a minor. So I'm just like, oh, damn. So it's sort of like
7 years for what?
7 years. You know how they he ended up messing around with a minor, and the minor didn't tell him. So in the state of Florida, because they was like, oh well, she didn't tell me. They don't care. The law don't care.
They don't care.
they don't care. So Long locked up for 7 years, and like I had no idea. Not only probation, but then he was on the sex offender list. I'm like, God damn, how is all of this, bro? That was the time. That was what 2009. So look up. That was when everybody was still on MySpace.
Oh, Lord.
That was when everybody was on MySpace. How the hell I didn't know how to look people barely just getting to the damn computers in the at the library on campus when I was waiting in that line. It was just like, oh my goodness.
I think for going to be how much time they serve, like did they just get locked up overnight or something like that? 7 years, hard time. Not just about the charge, but what happened when he was.
Jail changes people.
Yes, it can change. It can change people's, if you understand. So,
but what if? But
that's something.
So do you ask them? Like again, we're talking about deal breakers, right? So like again, what due diligence and try to figure out like, hey, you did some time. Y'all been together like, let's say 6 months. And then you're fine. I got a record. How are you moving then?
I to do the Cupid shuffle right out that relationship. If it's something that would have been a deal be up front, just because we've been dating for 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, or whatever, still apply.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that I would consider it a lie.
Exactly. I was about to say that.
Like,
It is a lie.
Yeah, if you on purpose, you don't want me to fall in love with you first, I would have told you. I'm just like, that's something, it's not going to work for me.
Mm-hmm.
I wish you the best of luck. I do care about you as a person. Maybe we can be friends in the future, because if I get pulled over and I don't know. Like, are you, did you report? I have no idea. We might be friends over the phone. I'm not going to hold your backpack, nothing like that.
Yeah.
And I say, happened to me. I was out on a date with a guy. I was giving him directions. He didn't listen to the directions. Got pulled over by the police. They start asking questions. This is our first date.
Yeah, I'm out.
But 2 guns.
Oh my goodness.
With how point over there crying to the police. I'm like, I just met him. This is our first date. We lost my. We were going to Denny's. Can you just take me home? I was not loyal, not at all. It just meant after, the let out at the club. No.
Wow. So we just I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just like, no, we're done.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, my dumb ass stayed a couple more months before. I was so
At this point in my life, I would have been speaking up.
Right.
At 21, 22, 23, 31, I probably would have stayed around for a little bit. That scared me so much. I wasn't going to call him after that.
Mm-hmm.
Your situation at your age, I probably would have stuck around for a little bit.
Yeah.
Young and not knowing better and not sticking to my standards.
Yeah, I knew what standards were at that time. So needless to yeah, needless.
Dating ugly men.
One thing for me is I hate a liar. I might not have known what my standards were when I was younger, but I knew I hated a fucking liar. So if you are forthcoming with information so that I can make my own informed decision about how we move regardless, because don't you ever think that I can't make my own informed decision, that I can move forward accordingly. But don't keep something from me. That's what pissed me off. And then you don't want to see me pissed off.
I'm gonna tell y'all right now. I'm gonna tell y'all right now.
The other round is like, don't you love yourself? Why would you not tell me this? Why would you waste your time?
I'm gonna go ahead and preempt everybody because we got less than a minute. I guess Instagram is only giving you an hour at a time. So I'm gonna just ask everyone to exit out, but please come back. I'll send some invites, but I don't want us to, but Instagram won't let us be great. So what I'm gonna do is back in. So if everybody that's just joined,
they talk about little one.
Okay, darling. Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna come right back.
Thank you for letting me join. It was nice to meet you.
I know. Thank you. Chatted.
Okay.
All right.
We need to chat.
I know. I'm about to log off. come back. All right.
All right.
Okay. So what we're doing right now, if you're listening in from Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter right now, just to go back in and yeah, just go back in. Instagram only gives you an hour, so let's get started. I'm gonna go back in. Boop. For those I see that there's one to see, so that one person, I really appreciate you tuning in. I have no idea who you are because I'm casting, streaming from my other phone because my computer would not let me be great. So yeah, so just starting again. We talking about deal breaker and sending an invite. Okay, invite. Hey, everyone. I ain't seen you in like a month of Sundays.
The Planet Fitness that won't let me be great. And out at 5:00 in the morning.
Oh my goodness! You know what? I'm about to be in the morning. I'm not playing with it. It's for some reason because she's picked up a couple of LBs, and when you get older, it's harder to move off. But for those who we were just talking about relationship beliefs that we used to believe that were true that no longer applies. Deal breakers. I think I've spoken to Jeremy Lamont. If you want to come up, that's cool. So yeah, but while I'm waiting to come in, I just wanted to show my new merch. Boom. If you haven't had a chance, if you have not had a chance to check out my Etsy store, is up and live. It is Etsy.com /shop40 apparel. Go ahead and check it out. It is definitely good stuff in there. So for the proud aunties and uncles, I got stuff for you. And older millennial crowd, I got something for you. Just go ahead and check it out. Got joggers, got magnets. It's really the products that are in my stores. So if you haven't had a chance to take a look at it, make sure you click Instagram. And there is a link tree link that will take you directly to her. So again, if you haven't taken a look, this is one of the items store. It's fine as auntie. So here you go. Boom. And then now I have it available in multiple colors. See, at one point in gray. Now we got white, black, gray, blue, aqua. So make sure whenever you get a second, go ahead and check out my Etsy store, 40 apparel. Again, you can definitely click on the link in my bio where it gives you to my Etsy store. So again, thanks. Just make sure when you go in, favorite my store. That pushes me up so people can see what I'm off. Check me out. I appreciate all the love and the support that I've gotten rock with me thus far. So back to the conversation. Deal breaker. So we were talking about, those that may have been within a correctional facility. Me personally, as I would front, especially if it's if it's going to a place where it's going to be serious. Now, I guess so. My question is, what if, and it's been 5, 10, 15 years ago, they off probation, they free, stored, they're productive citizens of society. Is it a deal breaker then?
For me, once again, if it's something that they didn't disclose, talking or just casually dating, period, and it's starting to get serious, that would, because it's going to depend on what the charge was. If it's like a sex offense or something like that, underage girl, that's something that the person would want to know. If I flipped the situation around and it was a guy and I had served, maybe I got into a fight and I stabbed somebody, he may be scared. A woman who served some time for a reduced couple years, he may not want to date a woman who had served her. Only fair for him to know that. If he doesn't want to deal with some time, that's his right. You have to respect his preference, and vice versa. I may not date someone who served, whether it was a year or 5 years or whatever. My right is my preference. I would look at it on a case-by-case basis to make that decision on how far things progressed before they told me. So there's how long things progressed, how much time they served, the time for, if they were forthcoming, it's going to be on a case by surrounding those factors.
Gotcha. So I
don't look at it as like almost.
Right. So this has been, with, it's a really big discussion that I'm glad our society is now. That's talking about mental health, right? My question to you, so this also this strikes not a nerve, but be on this subject and really be transparent about it. What are your thoughts? Having a mental health condition, is that a deal breaker?
That's a really loaded question for me because
I agree.
There was from high school, came back home, and there was a guy that I liked. We had dated like the summer back from school. It was casual.
Okay.
We come back, and I run into him, and he had totally changed. This bright, bubbly, funny personality to some like flat soda. And I didn't understand what was going on. I was in like maybe he's having a bad day, whatever the case was.
Right.
So I just kind of backed away from him.
Right.
In public because he was totally odd. Come to find out later on, he was diagnosed with
that one, that you know, like is like I really like infographics, and I remember where that they said 1 in 5 Americans are they mental health condition, right? And the majority depression and anxiety. Then you had PTSD, you had schizophrenia, and then you had people who had multiple layers of health conditions, right? And I've been pretty vocal health condition, right? Like I was diagnosed, I think it's bipolar 2 disorder, as well as anxiety disorder. And, because I be on Barbara Bush's internet. I personally am very transparent. I'm transparent because you're gonna find out eventually. And so for me, it's a tough one because ups and my downs, and it's sort of like the ups, I get a lot of stuff done there, but when I have those downs, it's like it's sort of like trying to earth. And so like I'm always concerned that comes to dating and trying to have a balance, right? That's where in medication and lifestyle changes helps with the balance, right?
Balance you out.
Huh?
I said to balance you out.
Yeah, to balance you out. I take that back. I don't necessarily worry about it because I've always said to myself, it's like, what's up, girl? Anybody that's gonna be that person that's gonna there that's gonna be a non-factor, right? That's why I forth when it comes to that idea of potential. No, I want you to currently, right? And understand, or better yet, understand like, hey, because like, I said before, it's a balancing act. Sometimes when people see me online interacting in lives or recording podcasts, they have no idea. Relatively normal, and I am a normal person who happens to have not health conditions. And so anybody, I like to be upfront about it, and that gives us a conversation about it, and then that individual, and for me, that gives the individual opportunity to make a decision for themselves. I'm not trying to sell you on it. Hey, this is it. But then again, you see those people where they're like, oh, she got this, and I can't. And at the end of the day, that's your decision. So I don't try to sell.
It's funny because I was talking to my brother about this actually yesterday, and how there needs to be more of a push in this country on normalizing, because most people
Yeah.
are dealing with some sort of mental illness where mental health is part of a health plan. It shouldn't be like a specialist visit or anything like that. No, primary care physician.
Right.
If you had an issue, if you're diabetic, type 1, type 2, whatever it is, people, maybe disclosing that. But if you're dealing with clinical depression, bipolar, if you're having mood swings, because there's so many different types of schizophrenia, if you're dealing with that, if you're on the spectrum for autism. I have who was
poisoned by lead, and dealing with now as an adult is somewhat similar to someone being
right.
And I've always, been concerned, are they going to be able to find love? Is someone going to love them?
Right.
And that's always been a concern of mine. But there needs of normalizing mental illness, and you do that by talking about it. You do that by being informed.
Yeah, I think, and then for me, because like over the years, I would say about half of the men that I've dated over the years, they were in the military, right? And almost all of them had served in combat. So like I would say about 90% of them with some form of PTSD. And so when you're dealing with someone that has seen combat not just one time, because many of them gone back 2-3 times, and don't let them be in infantry and be in Afghanistan. You're gonna deal with some PTSD. My brother, he went in theater. I would definitely say twice. I couldn't tell you. I don't know, but the men that I've dealt with, they've had that. And hey, that this may or may not be an issue, but most of the time they are you like hey, I balance this out doing A, B, and C. And then you have those who are very self-destructive. And I think that's the line in the sand for me. It's sort of, we understand that there are going to be times where it's not going to be great. But if you're not doing anything about it, I think for me, even for me, who not one but 2 mental health conditions, even for me, that's a deal, because I don't want anybody, because you have to care about yourself enough to be the help that not only you need but you deserve. And that's self-love. Yeah, that's self-love, because I do that for myself every Thursday work. I do that every morning when I wake up and take my medicine. I do it in bed and take my medication. And that's the self-love that I have for myself. Because if I be all over the place, and then somebody's son will want to fix me, bring purity hell into his life. And I'm not trying to do that with anybody. I'm not trying to do that with my family. Thank God I have a circle of friends. Off the cuz. That is government. Right. I didn't even give you a whole government name. I give my bad. But like having to have that circle that really does support you, you know what I'm saying, and a significant other, then that too. So that's why I said I deal with someone who accepts me in my presence, in my present state, in understanding, or they want to learn more, like, what does this look like?
Because a lot of people, their idea of someone who has a mental illness is what they have seen on TV,
right,
or in the movie.
Right.
Is a raging schizophrenic. They see the person is paranoid and talking to them. Not every schizophrenic. Right. My friend who was schizophrenic, he was just no emotion whatsoever. And I had no idea what was going on. Right. And I was just like, well, peace out. Like, you take care. The part about it is rest in peace. He going to a day program. He was getting therapy. He was taking his medication. Mm-hmm. And he to a convenience store that was right next to the facility where he's receiving daily treatment. Mm-hmm. He would go there every single day. He would go to the cigarettes and he would get a soda and he would smoke a cigarette outside the store. Right. And he would drink his soda for his treatment, group therapy, whatever the case was. Right. The officer came in and told him to move. Mm-hmm. He's smoking a cigarette that he just bought inside. You don't have to move. The store knew him. Officer came out, saw that he was still there. Yeah. Told him like, I'm good. Right. Misunderstanding and argument ensued. A friend was put in a chokehold. Mm-hmm. Good so-called good Samaritans jumped on top of him to him over 500 pounds on his body. He was asphyxiated at 8:30 in the morning. All of this within 30 minutes. Right. I'm sorry to hear that. And understanding that hey, this person could be dealing with something, let me them going inside and talking to the clerks in the store saying, hey, there's a guy outside. We know him. Mm-hmm. He comes here every day. He receives treatment. He's really cool. Not understanding what mental illness looks like in different people react to it. I would say one of the things that threw me for a loop was this idea of what stress looks like. Stress looks like in a movie. We've seen what stress looks like on TV, and this person who they don't know what to do. I have an autoimmune disease, a thing that Jada Pinkett Smith has. Mm-hmm. And I was stressed TF out, and I started losing my hair patches. And I was told it was an autoimmune disease, and basically my body was stressed out and was attacking the hair follicle. And that's why my hair was falling out. Right. But I understand because I didn't feel stressed. Right. I didn't have those signs stress that I was kind of dismissive. And it's just like, well, I'm stressed out because I'm losing my hair. Like how do I not be stressed? So understanding your base and your norm versus what you do stress when you're dealing with anxiety, when you're dealing with depression, when you're having a mood swing. That's important for the person to identify. And that's what I have had to learn to do. When I notice that I'm forgetting things, when I know that my balance is literally off, extreme anxiety, probably, severe depression, right, and stress. And it's interesting because I know for myself, this is for me, right? Because well, for one, I haven't really been in too many long-term situations recently. It's like I like the shit. There it's done in 2 minutes, more like 2 weeks. So to the point to be able to share any of that because they didn't last that goddamn long. I'm really interested in seeing, again, I'm one of them, and for me, I'm not going to try to sugar. That's why I guess I put all my business out on the interweb. I'll spill it. So anybody watching me and they're like, oh, well, I'm really
interested in her. Well, I have attitude disorder, so you know you have to be one of those people that does not bother you. That's cool. If you're one of those people that are great, but I'm not asking you to. I'm not asking you to like me based. I want you to like me where I'm at right now and understand and understand me. You know, not trying to change it, not trying to do any of that. For the self-care that I do for myself, go to therapy, take my medicine. I do that for myself to be a better person for me. And anyone that comes, it's just an added benefit. But I think, again, those are people say, oh, she crazy or she this. I can't deal with it. Because honestly, when you say condition, that's the first thing people say, oh, she crazy. Oh, he crazy. And I hate that. And that just makes my left tit itch. That really and I left tit itch because you're like automatically, and like I said, I mean, we could go, I mean, I'm be like, oh, well, I thought you said you wouldn't date potential. I did say don't date potential. I wouldn't dismiss anybody because it's something that I don't understand. That's great. But if not, you know, I can't hate you for it. I can't fault you for that. So
there's some things that people, you know, especially if they've had, usually in your childhood, there's a chance that they may try to avoid your, much as they want to avoid, they're going to actually attract themselves to it. Who was dealing with a bipolar disease, and it's just like, oh, I know how my grandmother used to act.
Right.
You know, it could be that. It could be alcoholism. It could be a lot of that you wanted to avoid being with an alcoholic because your mother was an alcoholic, and guess what? Was an alcoholic. You know what we no longer believe in as far as, like, you know, with love and things like that. Love, I'm not going to say will conquer all. Maybe there's still a little bit of a romantic left. I think love is the start and ultimately the answer, because before you should really even go, you know, the whole dating, and especially with marriage, it's like, bruh, sis, yourself in the mirror at any point in time. Strip all the BS away. Get yourself in the mirror. Can you really say that you love yourself? Really, if you can't, that's okay.
Yeah.
You have to want that you can get yourself to truly love yourself, because you are not truly love anyone else until you can love yourself. Acceptance,
right,
of everything that is good, everything that is, you're not perfect, knowing that you're still worthy of love. You know, absolutely no one is perfect.
Right.
So love yourself, accept your flaws. Maybe I shouldn't be so hard on the guys who are short.
I said that the best friend. Okay, you and best friend give the shorties zero love. Y'all give them no time.
There's a skunk.
Huh?
Skunk outside my. Oh my God, it's a skunk.
Girl,
I'm in the car. looking like at my apartment door and there's a skunk outside.
Well, I ain't holding you, are you? You don't own my house if you need to.
Let you.
No, but for real though. Oh my goodness. So let me. So you saying, because I know best friend pay. I know that is a hard and fast rule. She don't date nobody under 5'9". Is that a deal breaker for you?
I'm 5'6", 5'7", so 5'10". That is the cut off.
Uh-huh.
And lightly, I don't say, oh, I say that with men who were shorter than me.
Okay.
And it did not work out. It's going to be hard for me to admit. In the beginning, I really had issues respecting them. Like, as a...
Why? They're still a man. Like, why did you have a problem that are short?
As a man, I don't think it's right to look down. I was kind of looking down on them, like physically, like, bro, I'm looking down on you. You see, and I'm like, you want me to stop? Get your Happy Meal. Listen, full disclosure, like, growing up, he's 6'2".
Mm-hmm.
My brother is 6'2". All the men in my family, my grandfather, my uncles, my cousins, at least 6 feet tall.
Okay.
So that's all I know. That's all and when I saw strong men, protective men, men that I respected.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I equate with, I equate men to be taller than me. It's not, it's nothing personal. It's just a preference.
Listen, I've never discriminated against men that were under. I always noticed the ones that said, "Oh, I'm 5'7". They actually meant, because if we're seeing eye to eye, and I'm 5'3", and if we're seeing eye to eye, you didn't calculate that right, and that's fine, because, like, we will stretch the truth about their height if they're under 5'7", and we the truth about these weights, because I swear I'll be like, well, what size I look like?
I mean, from what I've seen on the dating site, on the IG, women will tend to lie and their age, and men will lie about their height, their age. It's real. I had never seen that before, but I had a 50-year-old man lie to me, tell me that he was 40. So I was just like, first of all, like, you black don't. I didn't even think that he was 50. So I didn't understand the point of why in the first place. But I've started to notice, especially with online dating, about their age. So I know if they say that they're 5'10", they're not 5'10", and right. They're more like 5'7", 5'8". Yeah. So their profile has to say at least 6. They're really 5'10".
Right. Yeah. I personally say I don't have a problem with dating men that are, there's. I think for me, what has typically not a deal breaker, but a level of being uncomfortable. I've dated men that are smaller in size, right? For example, that's what that to me is what is kind of, I don't want to say it's a deal breaker, but it kind of is. You know, because like it's crazy because like I can date a dude that's like 6'2", skinny, but I'm like, but he's taller than me. But when it comes to a guy that he might be 5'8", and I put on his stuff and the shit fit me, it's fit him. It's just like, you know, what the fuck? Are they looking like?
And he's like 150 pounds.
Right.
It's just like, but I'm 175. Like, but I too are, you know, the idea of the traditional roles where the man, he's tall and he's athletic and bulky, you know, and the woman is supposed to be, and I'm not, I feel the same way. It's like, if I am, I'm uncomfortable, and that's not his fault. That's my own insecurity, and hang that on him. It's just like, you know, I'm a thick girl. On the most part, I've always been a thick girl. It's why I don't run on a treadmill, because I feel that it's going to shake in real life, but it's just my mindset.
Right.
It's just, it's not his fault, but it's really weird, because when it comes to men who are my personal experience has been into somewhat testy confrontations.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it was a romantic partner, whether this was something that was work related. You know, recently within the past month, there was a guy who was maybe 5'6" or 5'7",
right,
telling him information that he was not ready to receive, and he was threatening. You know, but you know, to his baby's moms as well. I've had that happen in my personal life, and it just seemed like it's a running current. You know what? That's the current. Let's dam that up. Let's put a dam. I'm not dealing with that.
The one thing I don't deal with anymore, like I said before, I mean, and my neck it would be great if he's over 5'8". It's not a deal breaker, but like for you date a man that's smaller in stature, I don't personally want to feel overgrown 8th grader. Right? I taught middle school, way back in the 2011. I just don't want to feel like I'm 8th grader. Like, if you're gonna be, you know, 5'7", I just want you to look like you are my man. That, I think for me, that is a deal breaker. And I think sometimes we're not. I think oftentimes we don't like to say, "Hey, this is mine," because it can go so many different ways. Right? A lot of people will be like, "Oh, you just," it starts going a little bit deeper when we're talking about race and skin tone, things that people can't do anything about. Right? It gets, and it's just like, I get it. You like what you like.
Financially, you know, I mean, if you think about it, if the guy is like 7, there's a good chance that he could be financially, you know, well off. He is not spending the money to shop in the regular men's department. When he goes to Nike, he can.
You was getting ready to say that shit. I knew without and Nike, I knew you was about to go like, yeah. And you say he can get that 7 U size. I knew you were gonna say it.
Because in the U size, honestly, they were like 46, 9 men's. Because I was like, well, maybe I can just get like the men's sneakers. I didn't like the women's. I was like, maybe I can just, because I wear like a women's size 8.
Mm-hmm.
And the same sneaker, like $145. He's saving a lot of money. And I respect that. Honestly, I do. So you know what? Maybe I'll reconsider.
I knew when you said shopping, I knew that you was gonna go straight there. Talk about that man can save like wear 7 wives.
But in all honesty, because I am very, very frugal.
See,
maybe I'll consider it.
Boom, there you go.
5'7". Maybe I'll give it another. Something that I usually do. Usually when I say no, I'm cutting off. You know,
I really do think you should reconsider it. Yeah. So we talked about another deal breaker. I think that a lot of people don't think about, but they were long. Heaven knows how long, and that is long. What say you? What say you, my dear?
Ladies.
Hey, Isis, what's going on?
I just want to say I like manifestation.
Huh?
Like I was hearing that saying, if he wants, you gotta be short for 6 times. Like I'm 6'1".
Isis, you don't look like you. You had me fooled. I said I swear I solid 5'5" tops.
6'1". Was about 5'6", 5'7", and some shit. So for me, a height doesn't matter. As long as there's other, prerequisites that has a green check. You know, there has to be prerequisites for someone that. I mean, you have to command your absolutely command your space. If you are with a very tall woman, you know, with a tall woman comes a level of power.
Yeah.
And with that, and stature, with that, you have to be able to respond power with my status. And in my height, and I don't want you to be intimidated by it. Like I told you, you're not short, you're just your height.
Right.
You know, everyone call me tall. Okay, so I say I don't really care if you're short. Your shoe size do gotta be at least my shoe size, because you know, I'm just saying that matters to me, because there's some depth to parts of me.
Right.
Requires.
I'll definitely agree with you on that in terms of like when regardless if he's like 5'3", 5'11", 6'2", I'm attracted to men when they walk in a room. There is a presence. You know that they are there, but more so if they're 5'7" and under.
Yes. So my deal breaker, I don't even know if I really want. It's so many different things, but if I had to, like, I guess that, a deal breaker. Mm-hmm. Because I'm a very sexual creature, but I don't have to be. You me in different ways. I'm so good. However, when we get to that point of how we connect, baby, listen, the interests matter to a tall woman. So I don't want a man come around like, baby, it don't matter, answer yes it do. For me, it does. Because if I'm going to indulge in this relationship, which is a big and heavy component, of the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And you still, if I have to open myself up to you, my vagina, the most precious, civil, sacred, it's satisfied. Don't go in there playing with me. Not listen.
That
tickling me. I don't need no tickle. Okay.
I think that goes with any body, period. Whether you're a man interacting with a woman, with a man, and everything else. Are you being satisfied? I used to think it's interesting as we're talking about this. I used to think in terms of the belief that love conquers all, and it really don't, because I was in a situation, there was no tickle. There was a, word, and I'm like, what the hell did I sign myself up for, Lord Jesus? I'm just laying there like, okay, yeah, be in that space ever again. So I completely it's like, you gotta
wait, because then he gonna be mad when that was great. I must go to Walmart. I'll be back. I'll be going to Walmart for 3 hours, and I'll come back with that. I'll come back with wet ass pussy. I'm just saying, because clearly I'm not done. You done? I'm sorry, later.
Right, exactly.
So y'all, this is my true story back in the day. I'm telling you, okay, true story. Oh, okay. This is where it is if you don't going to Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
Because I got some shit 20 minutes away. That'll get me right. And this is what they say, oh, we're never satisfied. Well, hey. If you can't satisfy me completely sexually, then you have to tap into me to get to pieces of me that you can actually pleasure and satisfy outside of just. So other things can be compensated for, but that definitely for me, no. Like, I'm getting tickled. Like, I'm a grown ass woman. I don't want tickle.
I don't think that I ain't got nothing. When you become a grown ass woman, as a grown ass takes for you to feel satisfied. And if you got, and it's like this motherfucker. I mean, I understand there's that time frame where you're trying to learn each other, and that does take, it ain't gonna hit on the first time, but I giving tutorials. I mean, like, because they have classes for that. At my example, like, for example, at my event that I had, the Ultimate Ladies Night, one of the things about it is like, yo, we about to do dick sucking. I know that there's some people that yeah, I'm
actually like performing like, okay, this is like, if me and y'all show us what like, if you think I can't do it, but I want to do it, y'all gotta get out of this heat, man. I don't want nobody else. Well, trust me, you can't do it. He gonna get his dick sucked. It's just gonna come get somebody to come in that you guys mutually agree, and however you're gonna figure out how to satisfy your mate if you're not willing to do it.
Or you can take a dick sucking class at my Ultimate Ladies August 12th.
I want to be a teacher. I want to be the professor. I want to be
I'm just saying, at least, that's one of the 101 on top of some amazing male entertainers in Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood area on August 12th. Please stop there.
Where's that at?
Here in Fort Lauderdale.
Oh my shit.
I'm just saying, I'm putting watching that's in South Florida.
That's shit.
Ultimate Ladies
I
Night.
mean, not that I need lessons. I was saying, you know, I love to watch. But I'm glad that we talking about that because it's like one of the biggest deal breakers.
Right.
Are you teachable? Because I don't want you to come in my life thinking that you know everything that I need and desire, and you've never asked me what I need and desire and what I like. Right. You've never asked me, so whatever you think you know, you knew from her, from this, is not me. Be very, very open aside. I was just talking shit about the size of the dick, but that do matter. My biggest deal breaker, teachable and willing to listen to me, teach you how to communicate with me, how to accept my love, how to receive my love, how to receive me.
Jason in the comments talking about how many grace period smashes just do you get out until it feels right. I mean, I'm just saying, is he trying? I don't know. That's a hard one to answer, sir. Say maybe 3.
Way to Florida.
Huh?
Period. I'm on my way.
On his way.
I want to be the specimen. He wants.
I guess we can say 3 strikes and you're out. This ain't working. This ain't working.
That's just like me. Like I hate for a man. Like, oh, let me suck your pussy. Let me eat your pussy. I'm like, listen, if you gonna go down there, make sure that's the end. Like, don't just be down there fucking playing. I don't have time for that. It's a waste of my time. Now, if you need to learn how to do it, guess what? Women do it better than me, and I just for sake of, I can go get a woman and show you how to do it. Right. Because they don't have a pussy, so they don't know.
So I guess my question, with that being said, how men, and if there are any men in the chat, how many men are actually asking those? Men are saying like, listen, am I doing this right? You know, do I need to suck a lip here? Do I need to, like, you know?
Do you like it leg? Do you too tight? Is that too loose? Do I need to? You need me? Do you like fingers in there? What? Or do you like? Don't just put your fucking thumb in people's fucking ass just because the last chick liked her ass. Don't put your thumb in my ass.
I mean, but like, if you sticking a dry ass thumb in my booty hole, I might have a problem with that.
They're like, you need this, like, no, if you actually just suck and just lick like the extra stuff because you're right there, and then you start doing something new. Now I gotta focus over here. Now I gotta start. I didn't need you to do that right there. Just listen. When they in the end, like, man, when we start moaning and shit, that's different. No, keep doing that right there. Don't stop. What are you doing? Why did you stop? Because I started to moan. When then we moan, that means it feels good. And we want you to keep going, just like that, over and over and over again until I pop. You ain't gonna let me pop. I ain't gonna pop.
So the interesting thing, Jay was like, "Oh well, what did he say? I already want you to know." That's not necessarily true. I think maybe as women, as we continue to come into our own, and you definitely see that once you start getting in your late and in your 40s, you kind of start knowing, hey, this is what I like. And so you haven't really dealt with before, you kind of have to be vocal. Like, hey, this is what I like. And stuff like that. Hold on, let me see who this is that, but yeah, you have to have that conversation. You're not having that conversation, then it's But like you said, it's sort of like you have to be open. That's one of the things about deal breakers. I'm not expecting you to know everything when it comes to, but I am expecting for someone to at least make an effort. Just ask questions. Be like, what lube you like in your booty hole? So it's just, but hey, that you know that's in itself. But ladies, we come to the end of the show. I really do appreciate y'all jumping on my live. People know that it can be very, very intimidating when you come in. You know you're growing your following, and you don't have a whole bunch of people earlier on, and there was like 50 people up in there. First of all, that dude was mad toxic. I'm gonna just put it. I don't know who hurt him. I don't know who. I really don't know. But it's just like and I'm gonna say this. It's just that it's sad to see some of the toxic conversations that are being held on arms. But I mean,
and they really don't know who is like people. Like, I know you're learning anything. You're not reading anything. You don't know me. So it's like, are you talking about the one from earlier?
Yeah. There's like,
there was a chick in there. She was a bot. They kept calling her a bot. What did he say? He was right. Who?
I remember I jumped on for a second. It was a guy with a beard. I saw you. There was another guy in there too.
Yeah, there was one. It was a youngin. I am low key bitter. We kept referring to Oxford.
Right.
I mean, that was like I'm
like and I don't. This isn't intimidate. Like I had the less people. That's what I like because some real things are actually being talked about.
Yes.
Yeah. Energy that I was talking about. It's parasites. All y'all are poison. You have less parasitic energy, more quality people that actually honing in on the conversation and really talk about real jokey or whatnot. I don't like to come on and be debating back and forth for what you doing, what you do.
Nah, that's not.
Yeah, I don't like doing all of that. So it's like I'm not about to. Don't have to answer your question because you asked me a question because I know the energy that you bring to be toxic. So because I know that, why would I entertain your question? I don't have to. I'm not obligated to.
Well, with me here at Over40 Podcast, it's always gonna be. There might be a slight bit of ruffling of the feathers. Very rarely. I think they're just I can't really think. I mean, over the lives that I've done, and it's coming up on a year, I haven't in my lives. I mean, other than the Arabic gentleman on, and he was smoking crack, and he almost took his penis out. It's been. Swear, and that was the thing. Like I got really because like that was when I filmed at home, and Chloe was like, "Oh my no!" She was like, but literally, from Iran. He was from Iran, and he was smoking crack. Let's just say he was smoking crack, and like we couldn't understand what he was saying, and like he was sitting Indian style, and I swear he was gonna whip that thing out. Have mercy, they gonna shut my page down. But luckily we was there. It was damn it, Philly was in there. She was like, no, you got to click on the air. And I'm like, what arrow?
Listen, that's happened. We have been in lives, and I've learned, like, I'm in a room and you're requesting to come up. You don't even know what we're talking about.
Right.
So I advise you to list the caption if you feel that you have something to add to the conversation.
Right.
Add to the conversation, and I'll be more than happy to bring you up because and they was fucking stroking they dicks and shit.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
That is too much for me. That's
I gotta hurry up, and I'm like, wait, hold up, and it be them.
Yeah.
And they be perverts because they are ready, so they get a out of surprising you for doing that. That's the kick for them.
I don't want to cut down to 10 seconds. I really beauty ISIS off the cuss. Everybody's help. Tune in next time. Bye, y'all. Damn. If anybody is still watching on IG and Facebook and Twitter, y'all, they cut the ground only gives you about an hour for a live, but I hope you all enjoy when we talking about relationship release and as well as deal breaking. Next week, Tuesday night live is always live at 7:30 and